Minecraft Legends is going to be an RTS strategy game. That is a real-time strategy game where you have to gather resources, build structures, and then command an army of mobs to fight and defeat your enemies. The game is going to have a campaign story mode that goes against the piglins, but there's also going to be a huge part of the game that is in its PvP battle against other players. You can do PvP. And in this video, we're going to go all over the aspects of how you actually play Minecraft Legends. So within the game, you do have a map that you can view, as well as using to fast travel back to your own base whenever things are going wrong there. You can view your health at the bottom in the middle of the screen, shown by the hearts right over here. There's also a compass at the top of the screen that will help you navigate and find which directions you need to go in order to find certain things. In the game, you'll be riding a mount at all times. In this game specifically, you'll probably be on a horse at the beginning. It will have the option to toggle sprint and not sprinting, and you use this to explore the map as fast as you can, because the more you can multitask, the better you'll be at this game. You will be able to find other mounts that you can ride, and each of these different mounts will have different types of abilities. I did see somebody riding a spider that was able to just like climb up the side of a wall and jump over. If you look at the bottom left of your screen while you're playing, you can see your current resources that you have, and as you unlock the ability to harvest new resources, they'll be tracked and you can see how much you have here, so that when you're trying to build new things, you can see how much resources you still need, or if you have an overabundance of something that you keep harvesting. Now, to get anything done, you're going to be using alloys. Now, you have two types of alloys. You have gather alloys and you have building alloys. And you can see them right over here. The number means how many you have available right now. And once you set them to do something, you'll only be able to use them again once they're finished. So you have to be very specific with what you tell them to do. Players who are able to use these at all times, especially the gathering ones, so that you're constantly gathering resources at all times of the game, is going to be best for you to actually progress and be quicker than your opponent. Alright, so let's look at the 4 different menus that we have in the game. There's the gather menu, the spawn menu, the building menu, and the upgrades menu. Let's start with the gather menu. This one is indicated by a little pickaxe icon. Here you're going to select a resource that you want to harvest, and this will allow you to place a gather LA, which is the blue one. And you'll see there is like a whole square area that it's going to cover, and you have to make sure all of the resource that you want to harvest is within that area, and then the LA will basically just harvest everything that is that resource within that area. You will need to explore the map in order to find these different resources, and some of them can only be found in certain areas, like diamonds for example. You can use your map and hover over different regions of the map to see what rare resources can be found within that area so that you know where to find certain things. Let's move on to the next menu. The next menu is the spawn menu, which is indicated by a sword icon. This is where you're going to select the type of mob that you want, and then you're going to build a spawner of that mob. In order to use the spawner, you just hold down the spawn button, which is shown right there, and this will obviously cost resources to spawn the mobs one at a time. But also keep in mind you're limited as in how many mobs you are allowed to have with you at one point that you can have spawned. And this is indicated by this number right over here. So if you have 20 out of 20, you cannot spawn anymore. You're at your limit. You should also know that you can upgrade this limit later on to increase the amount of mobs that you're allowed to have follow you and have spawned. Moving on to the next menu, you can see this one is with the icon of a tower. Here you're going to select your type of building, your defenses, walls, different types of traps, and place them around your base to protect the core of your base from the enemy. You can also build bridges and other stuff to travel the world more easily, or set up forward attacking bases near the enemy's base, like setting up, towers, spawners right next to the enemy's base so that you can attack them. And you can rebuild an army right next to their base at all times, which is great. Obviously, how you play the game is going to change depending on the strategy that you want to use to win, which is going to be like the fun part of this game, I think. The final menu is the upgrades one, right? So this is indicated by this little thing that looks like a beacon. And this is going to revolve around a very important building called the Improvement Hub. Now, when you place this, you have to leave the open blue space around it open. You have to leave it open because you're only allowed to build everything else in this menu next to this tower within that area. So if you put something else there, you're just wasting space and you're limiting yourself to what you can do. So when you have the improvement hub placed, you can build other unique upgrades, these small little sections around this tower that's going to unlock different abilities like harvesting new resources, like to unlock the ability to harvest diamonds, coal, redstone. You need to have this improvement hub and then build the other improvements around the improvement hub so that you can actually gain access to this. All upgrades that you do are done through this system and section. However, you will need a very special resource called Prismarine Crystals. And as far as I know, you're only able to get these by destroying piglin camps that you can find around the map. They're this kind of like red looking like burnt area with lava and stuff. You'll see the camp there. You basically destroy this camp and you will get Prismarine Crystals as a reward, which you can use to upgrade your own stuff and unlock better things for your base back home. Now let's talk about combat. In combat, you are able to swing your sword as your main character, but it's more recommended to command an army of mobs that you spawn into battle. Now each mob has its own unique weaknesses and strengths, and you can unlock better ones as you unlock better resources, so that you can use stronger mobs which cost more valuable resources to maybe get into enemies' bases a lot quicker, like maybe using creepers to blow up the walls, and other mobs to deal with enemy mobs or towers to destroy different things. Now, in order to command an army of mobs, you obviously use mob spawners that you build around the map that we talked about earlier. And then you just hold the spawn button that will be shown on the screen. For PC, it's going to be Q, and you just hold this button and it's gonna just like spawn them in. Now with that same button, you can also see here at the bottom right of your screen, there's like this flag icon and it will tell you what button to press to. On PC, as you can see here, it is Q. Now, if you just tap the button, you just tap it once, it will make all the nearby mobs follow you. And they'll follow you around the entire map and you just lead them where you want them to go. If there aren't enemies nearby, they will automatically just attack whatever's nearby that they can attack. If you want them to stay where you currently are, you can hold Q or hold this flag button, and that will tell the mobs to stay where they are right now. There's also another way to control the mobs, and this is by the arrow key, which you can see here at the bottom right of the screen. You can see on PC, you press the E key. Now when you press this arrow key, it will tell your mobs to move to this arrow key or this area that you're pointing your character in, so that they can go ahead and attack this location. Well, not really attack this location, they kind of move to this location. There is no attack this building option, they kind of just attack whatever is nearby them, so make sure you position them in a way that you best want to use them. The game does have advanced controls to separate how you control each type of mob, like if you only want the archers to stay here, but you want the creepers to go to the wall. There are controls for this. I know on PC you have to hold the control key. I'm not sure what it is on other consoles, but we'll figure out more of this when the game actually comes out. We're just going over the basics from what we know right now. Ultimately, the gameplay is going to boil down on how fast you can gather, build, and command a mob army to destroy your enemy's base's core before they destroy yours. Whoever can multitask the best and has good teamwork with their friends that they're playing with is going to win more battles. I think it's going to be a really fun game to try and experience in this way. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.